Watermelons. Chapter 1. The beginning of the weirdest day in history. Tybee Island was a small town in Georgia. It has a barber shop owned by a nice old man named Charles, who gives the best haircuts and always finishes them by giving you a piece of saltwater taffy that tasted like heaven. There's a large beach that stretches so far you couldn't see the other side. Then, of course, the convenience store with the $1 slushies that tasted awful, a couple of office buildings, and a bunch of houses. It was a nice town in general, with lots of nice people. There's a large school for grades 1 through 12. If you lived here, you would have met everyone by the time you were 9 years old. Even if you knew about Tybee Island, you would most likely never set foot here. But William Marie Fester was born right here, in the town, in the hospital down the road from the convenience store. She's 15 years old, with a head of straight brown hair that goes down to her waist. She's about 5'3", not the shortest in her class, but not the tallest either. Willa lives at the Burrow. Her mom was a massive Harry Potter fan and nicknamed the house for the famous Weasley's house. It was a small yellow place with blue window panes and a small flower box hanging out of her window. There was one lonely oak tree that sat in the front yard where every morning, without fail, one pesky little squirrel would climb up the tree and jump into Willa's flower box, which would then proceed to scratch at the window until she woke up at 5 a.m. But Willa loved her burrow with the swaying palm trees outside and the kind neighbors and annoying squirrels. She lived an average life with her mom, Thea, and 2-year-old cat, Hermione. Her father had left them when she was only 5 years old. Her mom never talked about him, and Willa preferred to keep him out of her mind. To Willa, her father was merely a figment of her mom's imagination, for she had no recollection of this man who was supposedly related to her. Willa's mom was always busy at her job as a lawyer, and Willa felt like a bit like a burden to her. Thea was extremely strict, wanting the best life for her daughter. Willa found some escapes from home through her bestie, Emmy. As kids, they would always ride their bikes down to the convenience store. Together, they would spend hours playing outside and eating ice cream. As they got older, their friendship grew stronger. Last year, they were finally in the same class. Willa was perfectly fine with life, until that summer, something changed. Willa's eyes became a strange color. They were deep gold around the edge and started to fade pink closer to the center. But right before you got to the pupil, they became a gorgeous blue that looked like the calm ocean on a cool summer day. Willa loved them. Her mother, however, did not. When her mom first saw them, she grabbed Willa's arm and dragged her to the car. They then drove an hour outside of town, with Willa protesting the whole way, where they stopped outside a strange store. There, her mother told her to stay in the car, and a few moments later, she came out with contacts. Her mom told her to put them on. Willa did not question her. Willa woke up after a restless night, to her mom's voice echoing up the stairs as she screamed at her to "Calm down now, Willa!" "I'm coming," Willa yelled back. She slid out of her cozy bed and headed to the closet. She grabbed the first tank top she saw due to the sweltering heat outside and her inability to remember to do her laundry, despite many reminders from her mom. It was light green and slightly cropped. On the floor lay her favorite pair of pants. They were cute jeans with little butterflies stitched around the waist, but she had worn them almost every day this week. Willa grabbed them and gave them a little sniff. Good enough. She grabbed the white circular container off her desk, flipped it open, and popped her contacts in. Then she sat down at her desk, plugged in her curling iron, and waited for it to heat up. While it did that, the makeup drawer was open. First thing put on was a skin tint, followed by blush, then a bit of highlighter, and finally some mascara. Willa picked up the curling iron and wrapped her hair around it. She finally finished and groaned when she remembered that she forgot to put on heat protecting spray. She quickly checked the date, April 3rd, exactly 2 months from her birthday, on the spot. As she headed down the stairs, her mom said, "Please tell me you're not wearing those awful pants again, Willa." Offended by the jab, Willa shot back, so what if I am? "Lils, I love ya, but you can't wear the same pants over and over again. People will think I'm not providing you with clean clothes." "Fine." After changing, she walked down the stairs to the kitchen, where her mom was sitting, black hair piled into a messy bun, reading glasses on the tip of her nose, and phone held way too close to her face. "So, how'd you sleep?" her mom asked. "Fine," she said with a yawn. "Why'd you wake me up so early?" "You promised me you would walk Hermione." "Ugh, fine." It may seem weird, but they occasionally had to walk their insane cat, or he would bite them. He also could not be an outdoor cat because the vet bills were too expensive. So the arrangement was made. Okay, I'm going." She grabbed a slice of buttered toast and headed toward the door where she knew her cat was. "Hermione, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty," Willie yelled. Right there by the door was her cat, curled up in a ball in her jacket. "Oh, you're so cute. Come on, let's go." The cat got up and purred loudly, rubbing on her legs. Willie grabbed the leash and snatched up her cat, sealing the collar around her neck. One angry cat and a few band-aids later, they were out. They stepped outside and the cat ran out. It pounced down the steps and got distracted chasing a butterfly. They walked along for a bit when Will spotted Emmy sat down on a bench, entranced in whatever book she was reading. Emmy was like that. Throughout the 8 years they had been friends, she was always the type of girl to fail school. Not because she wasn't smart, she was actually a genius. But she would spend the whole class time reading, ignoring the teacher's instructions. Will jogged up to her and called, "Hey, Emmy." Startled, Emmy looked up from her book and walked to her. "Hey." They did their secret handshake. 2 slaps, forward, then backward, elbow, elbow, hip, hip, jump, spin. They giggled and kept walking. "Ah, it's finally summer. The sun on my skin and hanging out with you and getting attacked by mosquitoes." Emmy did a little swirl and pretended to swat a fly out of the air. Willa feigned fainting and held a hand to her head. "Oh no, attack of the flies. We must find shelter." They ran down the street and fell to the ground laughing. This was how their friendship had always been, playing games, even if people thought they were childish. "Don't forget, it's not summer yet," her friend groaned. "Ugh, one day left. Can you come over later?" Emmy asked. Willa shrugged. "I don't know. Probably not. You know how my mom is." Emmy nodded, sitting up. "How about next Friday?" She agreed. Willa waved goodbye and grabbed her Mountie. They headed off in the opposite direction. There was a nearby bench, so she went to sit down on it. Willa was staring at the pond with a few fish swimming in it. Suddenly there was a strange whistling noise. "Huh?" Willa glanced around, and there was a nearby house with a strange blue glow coming from inside. "Hermione," Willa whispered, "come here." She picked him up and headed to the front of the house. She had never seen this place, but it felt oddly familiar. The walls seemed to change color every so often. Suddenly the door creaked open. "Come in," a voice called. Willa screamed. "Wait, what?" said Willa, doubting herself. The voice sounded like it was trying to be mysterious, yet had failed very badly. "Come in," the voice said again. Willa's flight or fight senses were not kicking in, so she decided to go for it. She pushed open the door and headed in. She saw a woman, maybe in her 60s, wearing a dark purple shawl, a hideous red dress, and bright blue hoop earrings. "I've been waiting for you," said the woman in a mysterious voice. "Who the heck are you?" Willa said, pointing a finger at her. "Oh, my apologies, dear. I'm Laura, and I'm clairvoyant. I've come to read your future." Willa looked at her in shock. Um, what?" Willa said. "I came into your house." "Give me your hand," Laura interrupted. She reached out and grabbed it. "I see, she started saying before Willie yanked her arm back and turned around to leave. "Wait!" Laura grabbed her arm and tried to pull her back. "Let go of me!" she screamed. "Wait, just listen to me. You are in terrible danger," Laura pleaded. "Look, Laura, whoever you are, you clearly are not sane." "Now let go of my arm," Willa said sternly, secretly terrified though. Laura loosened her grip for a second, but that was enough for Willa. She sprinted out of the door, leaving her behind. "Wait! Make sure you don't trust a girl with pink hair!" Laura yelled after her. So that was chapter 1 of my book. Let me know if you would like chapter 2, and I will be getting back to the ASMR videos. Don't worry. Bye. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.